racing now. I wish I win from last. A spectacular TJ win. Giga kick down the outside, wins the Everest. Shinzo and Ryan Moore have drawn clear to win the Golden Slipper.
With Tim Gilbert and Julie Snook, this is Racing Dreams.
Well, hello there. Hello and welcome to our final episode of the season of Racing Dreams. It's been quite a spring, Jules.
It has been quite a spring, Timmy. Good morning. Good morning to you at home. It has been the $85 million Everest Carnival. It all wraps up today. It's our last day today. So let's take a look at what's coming up in today's show. We're all donning a touch of pink today as Rosehill Gardens celebrates the end of the Everest Carnival.
We chat to the wonderful Ray Thomas and cast our eye forward to the Hunter next weekend.
Oh, what a shot there, and what an amazing season we've had of Racing Dreams. All the highlights from another incredible spring carnival here in New South Wales, headlined by that Iron Lady there.
Absolutely. Well, today marks the finale in Sydney's $85 million Everest Carnival. As Jules mentioned, 5 diamonds. We've got the Golden Gift, we've got the Hot Danish, and we've got the ATC's Brett Devine. How are you, Brett?
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Good morning, Julie. What a glorious day here to finish this carnival. It's been 8 or 9 weeks of world-class racing, some spectacular finishes in some of the races. Many weeks and many racing dreams have been born again here in Sydney in the spring. And we're looking forward to another big day here at Rosehill Gardens for 5 Diamonds Ladies' Day. And as I say, it's perfect conditions. Look at this weather and the track's in perfect nick.
It looks very good. A day for champagne, fine food, great company. Just how I like to spend a Saturday. How is the track? How's everything looking out there today?
Well, the track's in great condition. It's a soft 5 at the moment, but Sean Patterson and his team who have done a great job week to week here expect it to get into that good 4 range, which is pretty much ideal for horses and jockeys and gives every horse a chance in the race. So it's in really good nick. We've got some big fields here again. As I say, this $2 million 5 Diamonds, another great innovation from Racing New South Wales that's keeping horses here in Sydney for longer in the spring. And also the $1 million Inglis Golden Gift. Now, this is a really important race here today because that race has got big prize money, and that prize money counts to getting you into the field for the Golden Slipper in the autumn. So we're finishing the spring, but we've got an eye on the autumn as well, and just can't wait to get into another big day of 10 races here. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, 5 Diamonds. We had the Golden Eagle a couple of weeks ago. Fantastic race for 4-year-olds. This is for 5-year-olds. Is there a particular horse that we might want to have a little $2 each way on and bet, obviously, with an extreme amount of responsibility, Brett?
Well, of course, and only modest. But look, Territory Express looks a really good bet today. He's got a booming finish on him, this horse. He's a little bit slow out of the gate sometimes, so an inside barrier will help him today, because if he is a bit slow out, he can still try to stick to that fence and try and find a run through. His jockey, Zach Lloyd, had absolutely no luck last week on a back marker trying to storm home in the Golden Eagle on Steffi Magneticus. So we're hoping today for Zach to get through the field, and also for his trainer. He's a great story, Paul Nicofero, who's battled some health issues in previous weeks. He's a lower level trainer, I suppose you could say. So it would be a racing dream for Paul and his connections if Territory Express could storm through that pack and win the $2 million 5 Diamonds today.
Tell you what, it's almost like Brett Devine is trying to get in our promo for the next season.
Oh, I think he's in there for sure.
He's absolutely nailed it this morning. Let's look at this Golden Gift. As you said, it has a major bearing on qualifying for the Golden Slipper.
Yeah, it absolutely has. And, of course, Gai Waterhouse and Adrian Bott, they hold a big hand here today in this race, certainly with a horse called North England and a couple of others. But they hold the record for the number of wins in the Golden Slipper. Of course, Gai on her own, and also in partnership with Adrian, she's won 1 or 2. So, look, I think they're the horses to follow today, North England and the stablemates. As I say, though, again, we keep saying it, the Racing Dreams, well, the dream for the Golden Slipper starts today with a lot of these horses, and if they run first or second and earn that good prize money, they're a good chance.
I love this mare's race, the Hot Danish, and of course named after one of Les Bridges' great runners, and of course it was a very dear to his late wife's heart. And of course Les was in great battles with all the great trainers like Neville Begg, and his son Graham has the favourite in today's Hot Danish.
Yeah, Magic Time. She's a proven Group 1 performer in the past. She won in the autumn, albeit on a very heavy track at Royal Randwick in the Schweppes All-Age Stakes. But certainly Graham, a really great trainer. He's been in Sydney a lot. He's now based down in Melbourne, but he regularly comes back to Sydney to run and win in these big races. So it would be fitting for him to win a group race here today with Magic Time. Look, she's going up against Belclair, who beat her last start, so the punters may have to think whether they want to switch camps. And a couple of really well trained or good trained horses from Rosehill Gardens here back on their home track, Arctic Glamour and Alencia, Chris Waller, and Arctic Glamour for Sterling, Alexia and Gerald Ryan. So that's a really competitive race, Tim, and really important for breeders to get some more black type for those mares.
But it doesn't all end today, does it, Mr. Devine? The summer season rolls on from here, and there's some great racing heading down to Kembla Grange as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the spring just rolls on and on and on into the end of November, and of course you've mentioned summer, and we've got a big race in December at Royal Randwick, the Ingham, which was formerly known as the Villiers Stakes. The Ingham family, great supporters of racing, and that's a big charity race day. That's a big one coming up. We go through the Christmas season, and we have Friday night racing at Canterbury Park. Now, this is also something really special and different. It's free entry. There's lots of free kids entertainment. The jockeys come out and sign cards and meet and greet all the punters and the kids, and it's a really beautiful way to spend a Friday afternoon, evening, just for 3 or 4 hours, as I say, with great free entertainment. And this would be right up Timmy's alley, these food markets. Once you walk into Canterbury Park, the senses are absolutely filled with all sights and sounds and smells. So I expect to see Timmy Gilbert out there queuing up at one of those food stalls.
Pushing all the kids out of the way.
I wouldn't do that, but I wouldn't queue up at one of them. I'd queue up at all of them. And I'm fading away to West Canterbury over here. Brett, thank you for everything throughout the course of this season of Racing Dreams. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. What a great show Racing Dreams is, covering, as we say, all those dreams and the biggest and the smallest people in the sport. We thank you for your support, and we hope people come out to the races and enjoy it, and we hope the punters back a few winners.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on you, Brett. Appreciate that.
Thanks,
and of course,
Brett.
This is our last show of the spring. We'll be back for the autumn next year, but I'll go as far as to say this has been the best ever series of Racing Dreams. It's been superb.
Yeah, 8 weeks of star-studded racing with prize money of more than $85 million. There have been some incredible moments, and many racing dreams did come true. It was the Spring Carnival that promised to be the greatest show on turf. From flames to cannons and even some clowns, it started with and did not disappoint. From above, it was a spectacle. On the ground, it was just as magical. A 50,000 strong crowd at Royal Randwick for the $20 million Everest, and they were treated to a race card worth every cent.
The final seconds, loading them into the barriers. There's the light now, and we're ready to go. The gates are back here in the Everest. They're off and racing to the massive roar of the crowd.
Iron Lady Bella Nipotina, the first mare to conquer the might of the mountain in its inaugural year with Group 1 status.
Giga kick going to Bella Nipotina. Bella's in front though. Bella Nipotina wins the Everest.
And the duo would back it up a fortnight later to take out the Sydney Sprint Series.
And this is a big payday for the Iron Lady, Bella Nipotina, winning the Russell Bowling comfortably. And the win today takes Bella Nipotina to the second highest stakes earner ever in Australian racing.
And what about that country jewel? It was anything but easy for Moolumbar Flyer, far too easy.
Far too easy, too strong in the Kosciuszko.
Who delivered trainer David McComb his biggest, most emotional win to date in the $2 million Kosciuszko for country-trained horses.
Capacity field of 20, and Cheowolf is the race favourite around.
A beloved king by name, Cheowolf has fast become a beloved king by nature. The Joe Pride gelding won back-to-back Group 1s this season, first the Epsom and then the King Charles III.
Here's Cheowolf, the the Epsom winner with a booming run down the outside. Cheowolf takes the lead.
That atmosphere there on Saturday for the King Charles and Everest, it was the best I've probably ever experienced on a racetrack, and I've ridden all over the world, so it's just so nice to see Sydney racing thriving the way it is.
The old boys weren't about to miss out on their time to shine either. The second annual Equimillion event bringing together former stars of the track for a weekend of eventing brilliance. The relaxed nature and sharp mind of inaugural Golden Eagle winner Colding has him excelling in life away from the track. While sprinting sensation Nature Strip is now enjoying a new chapter in the care of jockey Kathy O'Hara. And maybe next year, a new retiree could join the ranks. With Joe Pride's Everest winner Think About It now embarking on life as a stock horse with jockey Sam Clipperton in the Hunter Valley. The spring of 2024 had its stumbles, and its stories of redemption.
She's 5 lengths in front. It's going to be a coxswain round, and James McDonald, a century of the very best. Pearson Speeder by 7 lengths.
We've spoken to some legends of the game.
Old cricket people love to reminisce about days gone by. I'm certainly that way about horse racing. It always has, and it always will, give me tingles up the spine.
I was asked the other day what got me interested in racing, and I thought back to when I was 6 or 7 years old. I said the money, people collecting the money, and it was probably right. But as it became a passion with me, you can't but help but love the horse.
And even legends of other games. The Ricky Stewart Foundation, the proud charity beneficiary of this year's Golden Eagle winner, Lake Forest.
Lake Forest bursting home on the rails. Lake Forest. William Haggis has done it again.
We've been trackside.
Oh, how excited are we? It's Everest Day and this is Racing Dreams.
We've been beachside. We've hit the gym. Taken to the skies. And even got our hands dirty. To bring you along for the ride in a season of racing dreams like no other. In the words of Neil Diamond himself, as the spring turns to summer, who'd have believed you'd come along?
Welcome back to Racing Dreams. Well, here we are. It's Big Dance Day at Royal Randwick, and I am joined by Australian Turf Club Ambassador, Miss Universe Australia, Laura Dundavik. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Nice to see you again.
Absolutely, great to see you. Now, fashion. We see all these people taking photos in this wonderful sign. How important is fashion at the races?
Fashion is, I think being in Australia, we're known for our laid-back lifestyle, our laid-back dress sense. So when we have an opportunity to dress up, I just love it, and everybody here today at Randwick has done that. There's the Fashion Stakes competition, and I can see so many girls here who I'm like, you're a good contender. I hope you've entered.
Of course, we've got Ladies' Day, Rosehill, and what are a few tips? What are a few tips for people who are new to the races, want to get a few beauty ideas?
Well, this season, the hats are coming back for the women. If you have a look at the overseas trends on the runways, Chanel, they're all big hats. So it's really beautiful to see that. I don't have one on today, but the really big hats are coming in. I think it's really important to remember, if it's your first race day, think about it as a complete look. So you want to make sure that you've got your headpiece that complements the dress, complements the shoes. Find one piece that, really stands out, and then have everything work in together. You want a complete look.
The Sydney Racing Carnival in springtime and autumn, it's just fantastic. The last few weeks, Everest Day, what did you think with Sweet Caroline?
Oh, just phenomenal. That went viral all over Instagram. I'm hoping that we have another Sweet Caroline moment today and I can take part in it.
Now finally, why should young women come to the races?
To get dressed up, it's a great social occasion, and if you have a look around, everyone is just happy, everyone's having a good time. My greatest memories of the year, there's always a race day in one of them.
What about footwear?
Footwear, make sure it's comfortable. I'm a slave to fashion, so if something that's not as comfortable looks better, I'll always go that, but I think definitely comfort should come first.
It's 5 Diamonds Ladies' Day at Rosehill Gardens, and thanks to Laura. Few tips in there for Ladies' Day?
Comfort is key, ladies. If you're getting dressed today to head out to Rosehill Gardens, a touch of pink as well, because, pink is the theme of the day, so comfort is key. Shall we have a look around the track?
Yeah, why not? Storm Boy, you got some news on Storm Boy?
Yeah, this was an interesting one. It appears the Coolmore colt has run his last race in Australia, with Storm Boy heading over to join Aidan O'Brien's stables in Ireland. Coolmore made the announcement online earlier in the week, saying the view is for the talented 3-year-old to contest top sprint races in Europe next season. Interestingly, it could put Storm Boy on course for a showdown with another Coolmore star, the Chris Waller-trained Switzerland. Now, it's also been flagged that Switzerland could be headed to Royal Ascot, after that impressive win in the Coolmore at Flemington. So the Coolmore colours heading overseas.
What a season for Bella Nipotina.
What a season it has been after taking out the $20 million Everest. The 7-year-old backed it up on Saturday to win the Russell Balding Stakes and get me a few points in our tipping comp. Not only did she win $1.725 million in prize money for that race, she also collected 2 separate $1 million bonuses for winning the Sydney Sprint Series and the Everest Russell Balding Stakes double. So this now means that Bella Nipotina is the second place on the all-time prize money list, having won more than $22 million in her career. She now only trails the Mighty Winks, who won $26 million, the most in Australian history. Trained by Kieran Maher, Bella was given a standing ovation on return to scale on Saturday, rightly so. She'll now enjoy a well-earned spell after today's run in Flemington and potentially a visit to Royal Ascot in the new year, as I'm sensing Racing Dreams should maybe be going to Royal Ascot in 2025.
I'm actually just hearing, there's a real chance of that. Okay, well, top hat and tail, we'll get in, invest in that.
Pop it in the diary.
Now, a couple more races in New South Wales been handed the black tie.
Great news for racing down south. The Warra, which will be run at Kembla Grange later this month, has been elevated to a Group 3. The race over 1,000 metres will feature at Kembla's standalone meeting on November 23, just a couple of weeks away. It is a cracking race day at Kembla, headlined by the Gong, also granted Group 3 status. So that is 2 Group 3 races in one day down there. It's worth $1 million and is expected to attract some of our best milers. There's plenty happening trackside to support the 10 race card as well. So make sure, if you're looking for something to do November 23, you head to Kembla Grange.
Absolutely. Now let's check in with Rosehill Gardens Racecourse Manager Sean Patterson ahead of today's 5 Diamonds Ladies' Day.
Well, the curtain comes down on a hugely successful Sydney Everest Carnival this Saturday at Rosehill Gardens for 5 Diamonds Ladies' Day, featuring the $2 million 5 Diamonds. There's also the $1 million Inglis Golden Gift and a great card of racing. Joining me is Racecourse Manager Sean Patterson. And Sean, a great card, and just looking at the track, it looks in great order.
Yeah, look, we had a really good weekend last Saturday. The weather was a little bit different, but ended up being a really good day. Track's just continued to improve with the conditions that we've seen this week. some 30 degrees and some nice summer weather kind of popping up. So look, track's in great order and looking forward to the final race day on the card.
And what is it? In for a bit of a warm one today, but what's the track currently rated?
Yeah, look, we're a good 4. We've just been keeping at the top side of a 4. Put 4 mils of irrigation on the last 24 hours. That's taken us to 80 mils for the week. So just following the same pattern we have the last 7 days. Look, they are saying now from this morning's update that there's going to be a storm tonight. Initially it was 1 to 2 mil. Now they're saying about 5 to 10. So we'll wait and see what comes this afternoon, but we're in a nice spot and that's just going to help us out a little bit more.
And what are they saying, obviously, for Saturday, the race day?
Yeah, look, some good weather to follow. So tomorrow we're still looking at 31 degrees and fine, and then we're looking at about 24, 25 degrees on Saturday with plenty of sunshine, so it'll be a good day for racing.
Perfect, great reason to get out here to Rosehill Gardens on Saturday. Now, we had Golden Eagle, obviously, last Saturday. I'm just looking at the rail. It was in True that day. What is it for Saturday?
Yeah, look, we've just gone out 3 metres. We had a look at, obviously, big fields this week, and we wanted to maximise that. But the 3 metres just goes perfectly for us. Gets off that wear and tear from the big fields last week and presents a nice ground for racing this Saturday.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to Saturday, 5 Diamonds Ladies Day to finish that Sydney Everest Carnival. You can get your tickets at theraces.com.au. Sean, best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Welcome back. You are watching Racing Dreams, and so much of the magic of racing is everything that comes with it. I should say we are talking the fashion, the entertainment, music, and of course, something we both love dearly, food.
Glorious food.
Glorious food.
One of the big names in the Australian culinary world is Manu Fidel. He, of course, grew up in France, where racing is huge, and I bumped into him at Royal Randwick. So Manu Fidel, you're studying the book. You're studying the book.
Yeah.
What about the races? It's big in France.
Oh, it's huge in France. Actually, I've got a little story to tell you, if that's okay, if you've got a minute for me. But unfortunately, my grandmother passed away a few years ago. But she lived in a very, very small village, so, not a lot of money in a family. But when she passed away, my uncle went to clean her apartment, and he pulled the drawer open, and it was full of cash. From betting on horses.
Oh, she was a punter.
Yeah, she couldn't put food on the table, but she had a drawer full of cash. Unbelievable woman.
And what about Sydney racing? There's a certain magic to it, isn't there?
I mean, it's been forever kind of thing. I've only been living here for 25 years, and I've known about the races since I've arrived here. It's got that buzz. You've got to take some time to make it happen.
Now, what about people if they're watching Rosehill Gardens, the 5 Diamonds, and they're preparing some food? What's a tip? What's a tip? I know there's plenty of tips when it comes to cooking, preparation. If you've got a group of people around.
Can I give you something that I was a little bit upset about today is I've got a beautiful piece of beef with a nice little piece of potato and some spinach. No sauce.
That's your famous. Oh, where's the sauce?
Where's the sauce? When I say sauce, I don't mean ketchup and barbecue, okay? Just a little bit of, just go to the supermarket, look at the by menu sauce product. No, I'm kidding. No, but make a little peppercorn sauce, a little red wine jus. Just Google it, just a little recipe. Just put some sauce on your meat, that's it.
Many things I love about racing, but I love the idea that everyone here is for a sense of fun. It's a sense of joy.
To be honest with you, when I woke up this morning, the only thing I had in mind is dressing up. It's one of those things. For me, when you come to my restaurant, is a night out. Not only the food is there, but you want to be getting great service and great food and be entertained. It's the same with the races, where everyone makes an effort, putting a little hat, a little feather in their hair, or a little costume. And I think it's a bit of respect, it's a bit of tradition, and I love that.
Oh, too, and you've got the spoon there. Who are you dressed by, if I could ever ask that question?
Just myself. My mother's gone. Oh, sorry. No, I don't even know. Oh. Yeah, I don't know, and they're not famous. I just look good.
You look fantastic. Good to see you, mate.
Thank you.
Love it.
That's
Where's the sauce?
Where's the sauce? You do need a little bit of jus on a nice piece of red meat. That's great. I loved that. That was a good one. Anyway, moving on to racing now. And as we've touched on throughout the show, the Everest Carnival does conclude today with 5 Diamonds Ladies' Day at Rosehill Gardens. That is where we find racing editor of the Daily Telegraph, Ray Thomas, looking so dapper with his touch of pink. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Jules. Good morning, Tim. Beautiful morning out here at Rosehill Gardens for, as you said, the final day of what's been a fantastic and spectacular Sydney Spring Carnival.
Oh, absolutely, Ray. And the 5 Diamonds for 5-year-olds. It's another great innovation from Racing New South Wales.
It certainly is. $2 million prize money, Timmy. And well, earlier this week in the Melbourne Cup, we saw with Robbie Dolan that fairy tales sometimes can happen in racing. Wouldn't it be great to see Territory Express win for Paul Niceforo, the trainer? He's only got a couple of horses in work. He's been a toiler in racing for decades. He's got his one good horse. It could be his moment in the sun, but it's a crack field and a really deep race.
Yeah, we love to see those stories come to fruition. We've also got the Golden Gift today. Now this, as we touched on a little earlier, has major bearing for qualifying for the Slipper.
Yeah, it is. 1 and 2, Jules, basically would have a lock on the Golden Superstar due to the huge prize money. $1 million for the Golden Gift, and it's an intriguing race because we've got a few first starters and a couple who have come through the Breeders' Plate. Mainly the favourite, North England. He, of course, was third in the Breeders' Plate, but he's an easing favourite because there's been a push for Tupakara, who had no luck at all in the Gimcrack Stakes and has since trialled very well. And a horse from Team Hawkes, a colt called West of Swindon. I thought he trialled really well recently, and he's come in from $12 into $6.50. So an intriguing race for the Golden Gift, racing for $1 million, and the first 2 place getters will have a lock on a place in the Golden Superfield next March.
Race for the mares, and this is the Hot Danish. You like a Waterhouse Bott horse?
Yeah, good race, isn't it? Belclair, of course, was very good in the invitation, Timmy, at Randwick last start, beating Magic Time. Interesting, the bookmakers have turned those 2 around today, and Magic Time, who's a Group 1 winner, is the favourite for this race, the Hot Danish, ahead of Belclair. Look, I concede Alentia was disappointing at Randwick, finishing 4th, but if you go through a form, and often Tim and Jules, horses race to pattern, invariably she races a little flat second up, then comes out and produces a career best third up. She did that in the autumn in the Emancipation Stakes right here at Rosehill. I'm banking on her at the odds, about $5 to do that again this afternoon, and she might be able to turn it around again.
We touched on this earlier in the show as well, that Graham Begg's Magic Time goes into this one as favourite, and this is a nice tie-in with his father, Neville Begg.
It was quite ironic that he mentioned Emancipation there as well, Ray.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, Graham's father, Neville, trained the Great Emancipation back in the 80s, and she won 2 George Ryder Stakes right here at Rosehill. I was here as a kid seeing her the day she ran down Manicato, which was an incredible performance. And of course, Graham trains Magic Time, who now will race for the first and only time in the Yulong colours today. Of course, Yulong are winning everything at the moment, so that magic dust might rub off on Magic Time. She is the favourite, as I said. She's a Group 1 winner, a high-class mare, goes into this race third up, and certainly she'll be very, very hard to beat.
Now, without being self-indulgent, Raymond, I do want to have a look at Wyong today, because race 1, you and I both race horses, we've got a few, and we all love it when one wins. Look, Kryptonic, he's a 4-year-old, he's got a lot of ability. What do you reckon out of the 2?
Yeah, look, he's resuming today, Timmy, as you know, but gee, he trialled well recently, didn't he? So he's a smart horse in a good stable. I like him around Wyong. He'll be up on speed, be hard to beat. Very best of luck to him. I think he'll give you a great sight.
Oh, Timmy's very desperate for this one to get up today.
Oh, absolutely. And then it's the Hunter next week, of course. It rolls on. The Hunter next week, we go further up the freeway.
Yeah, the Hunter at Newcastle is a fantastic race day, isn't it? And then the Gong after that. So the Carnival doesn't finish. And if you think about it, guys, the Ingham in mid-December is not that far away. So it just rolls one onto the other, these $1 million race days. But Newcastle is a special day. If you haven't been to a Newcastle Hunter meeting before, try and make the effort next Saturday, because it's a fabulous day. The Gong similarly at Kembla Grange the following Saturday. These 2 standalone provincial meetings with the the $1 million races just work, Tim and Jules, and it was just an extension of what's been a fabulous spring carnival.
It has been a fabulous carnival, Ray. Before we let you go, I'd love to ask you what one of the highlights has been for you this carnival.
Oh, so many, Jules. You think of the Everest, what a race that was, Bella Nipotina and Giga Kick, but I think to me one horse stood out because I think we're going to see a potential superstar next year. His name is Chaya Wolf. He started this spring as a restricted class horse, guys. He finished the spring as a dual Group 1 winner of the Epsom Handicap and the King Charles III Stakes. His win in the King Charles was just off the charts. He's a very, very special talent, this horse. He's lightly raced. He's with Joe Pride, so you'll know he'll maximise this horse's potential. And he's just going to get better and better. I can't wait to see what Chaya Wolf does in the autumn.
Oh, absolutely. And Chad Schofield's only been on him twice and won both those races. It's extraordinary. Raymond, enjoy Rosehill. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks very much, Tim and Jules.
Thanks, Ray. Lovely to see you. Well, what a spring it has also been for Arrowfield stud. Group 1 winners, Switzerland, El Castello, Private Life, and of course, what about the feats of the uber-talented Autumn Glow?
Yeah, chuck in lady Shenandoah in there with the Group 1.
Yes.
It's been amazing. Jules, we aren't far away from seeing the progeny from a new stallion, Hitotsu. So, John, we spoke to John Massara last year about Hitotsu, exciting, a stallion now, and there's his progeny.
Absolutely, it's really exciting. He covered a big book last year, 162 mares, and we've got some beautiful foals on the ground. They're here, and we're really excited about how they look.
What about him as a racehorse? Kieran Maher loved him.
He was an incredible horse. I mean, he was naturally a very fit, very aerobically fit horse. He did some tremendous things. I mean, he went from the Caulfield Guineas straight to the VRC Derby, was spectacular in that race. And then he came back in the autumn. He only had the 2 starts. He won the Australian Guineas and then won the Australian Derby as well, without a race in between, which is quite incredible. And he's one of the first horses to have ever done that. What he may have achieved, had he raced on as a 4-year-old, would have been, you know, so exciting. Unfortunately, he was injured, and the loss to the racing community is the gain to the breeding community and us here at Arrowfield.
What's the race that stands out for you?
I think the VRC Derby was the race. He was so well fancied that day, and he was back buried in the field and looking as though he mightn't get a run. As soon as he got a run, he just exploded. And that was his trademark, that incredible turn of foot that he had. And that was the thing that really excited all of us. That was first big win, but I think one of the most impressive as well.
Here's Hitotsu though, finishing at a rate of knots. Hitotsu goes on by. Hitotsu storms away. Hitotsu wins the Penfolds Victoria Derby.
That burst of speed that we've seen with Hitotsu as a racehorse, what about these young foals? It's very early on. You can only see so much in them, but what's the early look?
Well, look, we really like what we see. I remember back to when we had our first foals by Dundeel, and he was a Derby winner, but they just looked so athletic and so strong and so impressive. And we're seeing the same sort of thing in the Hitotsu foals. Very athletic, very similar in physique and colour, and they're just really like him. You know, they're well made, good depth, lovely shoulders, nice hind legs, the sorts of things you look for in babies. And then when they grow out, who knows? But at this point, we love them. We really love them. They're really good foals.
And he's enjoying his new life?
He is enjoying his new life, as you would. He's got a good book of mares again this year, and he's a natural at it. And that's always a good sign as well.
Hitotsu, the son of Morris. Morris stands here, Admire Mars stands here. There's a real Japanese thread here at Arrowfield.
There has. I mean, we've got a great association with Shadow, and in particular Northern Farm, Katsumi Yoshida, who raced at Morris and Admire Mars. We we've got a great belief in the quality of the Japanese bloodstock. You see all around the world when they travel and they compete in all the big races everywhere in the world, you know, they're almost dominant these days. And so if you acknowledge the fact that they are superior racehorses, then the bloodlines are the bloodlines that you want to sort of use. And we're seeing that obviously with Morris has been such a great success. And Admire Mars has started brilliantly in Japan. He could be the next big thing. He's already had 10 two-year-old winners, which is extraordinary. And they look tremendous, and our first yearlings sold so well, and they're just rising two-year-olds here now. So really excited about what the future holds for Admire Mars.
Some future stars out here?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see. They'll be racing as two-year-olds in...
Well, they'll be yearlings in 2026, the January 2026 sales, and they'll be racing hopefully at the end of that year, so from September onwards 2026. So it's a little bit of a wait. It's a long haul when you're breeding horses, but you know, when you've got horses like Hitotsu and Morris around, it's well worth the wait.
Great to have your company. This is our final episode of the spring. Of course, we'll see you in the autumn, but Racing Dreams, it's been an extraordinary time. We've had a tipping comp. We actually haven't had the results announced yet of the tipping comp. Mark Brassel from Racing New South Wales, how are you?
Good, congratulations. Tipping machine, Tim.
I won. I didn't even look at it.
Shame. Shano Cass from the Daily Telegraph joins us as well. Good morning, Shano.
Julie, congratulations, Tim. You were too good on the day, only by nose. Well done, Julie. You nearly got him. I wish you had have, but anyway,
well,
Tim
thanks
wins.
for telling us. I really seriously hadn't looked at it. But
yeah, no, you haven't mentioned it at all this week. Look, we have had a tipping competition here on Racing Dreams all season. Let's take a look at the final leaderboard to see how we all fared. As you can see,
Ricky Stewart said it last week. Oh,
Jared Croker, lucky you're good at football, mate, because your tipping was not great this season. But Timmy Gilbert, you did take out the comp. You led all season, actually, remarkably, and it did come down.
I don't know about remarkably, but
remarkably.
I don't know whether we need remarkably. But
I'd just like to see all the threes on my line there. So I did come back quite strong last week, and I didn't need Sunshine in Paris to place, but she did. And well done to Annabelle Neesham and Rob Archibald as well for helping with that.
Just so for those following on at home, if you win, you get 3, second 2. And so last week,
the Everest
Julie
really
needed Bella Nipotina to win and for me to sort of come third or not place. But because Sunshine in Paris came second, I just got there by nose.
Yeah.
And look, it's not about winning. It's a spirit of competition and having a lot of fun. And we did that.
Yeah, that's right. The Everest really disappointed all of us, but me more so. Well, on that, we do have a little something. I do have to we couldn't get Jared's wooden spoon, but we do have a...
how good's this?
A golden horse to present the winner of our tipping competition.
I'm going to call that Kryptonic in honour of a horse I have a small share in.
Yes, so that is your trophy. Congratulations. I look forward to having it on my mantelpiece next season.
We can't get a new one for you next year.
Nope, it's not the Everest, mate.
No,
We're on a tight budget around here.
We didn't get the wooden spoon to Jared down at Canberra, but I've thought what we should do, he's going to Las Vegas with Ricky Stewart and the Raiders to play the Warriors.
Yes.
The first NRL game. I reckon we get him to do the lines and the sausage sizzle.
Yeah.
As a penance.
We should.
For running
I
laps.
reckon Ricky would support that.
Yeah.
I mean, Ricky.
Maybe hot dogs in Vegas.
Yeah, hot dogs in Vegas. Yeah.
Enough of the frivolity. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Timmy. We'll leave this one here. Let's take a look at some tips for today. Obviously, no points on the line for us, but tipsters at home might want to hear this one. Shane, who are you liking at Rosehill today?
Yeah, I'm going to kick off in race 1, Julie, with number 7, a horse called Monty Supreme. She's trained down at Kembla by Robert and Luke Price. She had her first taste of midway racing at her last start, and look, it didn't go terribly well for her. She drew the outside barrier and was always well back, as is often the case with her. But look, she went for a run in the straight, but unfortunately there's a wall of horses in front of her there. You can see Tommy Berry, who's in great form, by the way. He won the big dance on Tuesday, so hopefully things will go a bit better for Tommy and the horse today. But look, I thought she hit the line really well. They brought her back back to Sydney. And I did notice in the morning line this morning with the betting, she was pretty much the first horse backed, and they have kept backing her all morning. So she's 5s into about $4, and I suspect she could even run favourite. If you have a good look at her there, she's the one. Tommy just sitting up in the saddle there, plenty to offer, but nowhere to go. So let's hope she goes a bit better today.
What about you, Mark?
I'm going with Rapidash in the last at Rosehill.
Get out.
Now, I spoke to the trainer, actually, Lyle Chandler, lovely bloke at Scone. Just in this clip here, it's red sleeves, red cap, white, third last. It'll struggle to get a run here, but flashes home for fourth. I asked him, what does it mean, Rapidash? And he said it's a Pokemon character, a cream-coloured horse who runs at 240 kilometres an hour, and it's cream-coloured. So I'm figuring if Rapidash can 30% of that 240 over the last 200 metres, she'll win. So
Jeez, that's a
there
theory.
she is, flashing home, running fourth there.
Let's see if we can get the pronunciation of the name, because you just gave it 6 different ones. It doesn't matter.
Rapidash.
Doesn't matter if it wins. Jules, what about you?
Rapidash. I have gone with race 7, number 1. We've mentioned this one a few times today. Belclair in the Hot Danish. Trained by Björn Baker. This comes off the win in the Invitation here, I think we're watching. Did beat Magic Time in this race. Was carrying 59.5 kilos for the Invitation. Today gets Tyler Schiller with 57. I still don't remember last time I was 57 kilos, but I'm hoping Belclair gets the job done today. Goes in as second favourite, I believe, behind Magic Time. So fingers crossed.
I don't think I was ever 57 kilos. Now, I'm going to go in the 2-year-old race today. I think North England. I like North England. It placed in the breeders, of course, so it comes in with a fair bit of quality. A lot of first starters here. It's by Farnan, of course, the Golden Slipper winner, who Gain Adrian trained, and they, of course, have North England. So that's a 2-year-old race, but also I'm tipping Kryptonic, the horse I mentioned before, race 1 in Wyong, out of the gate 2. Should just go to the lead and improve its position, I hope.
You hope.
I hope.
You hope.
Fingers crossed.
All right, Shane, let's have a closer look at what's happening at Rosehill today. The 5 Diamonds, tell us about this race.
Yeah, well, we saw the 5 Diamonds Prelude a couple of weeks back, and there's a reason it's called the Prelude, because there are 7 of the 14 horses in today's race that came through that race, excluding the winner, unfortunately. Iron Noah Star has been scratched, but we've got the next 5 horses across the line. The Prelude was an interesting race insofar as the runner-up Territory Express, who's trained at Kembla by Paul Niceforo. This would be a great story if this horse won, because as you heard before, Paul's only got about 2 or 3 horses in work, but you don't need that many when one of them wins $1 million. This horse was very slow to begin, missed by about 2. He had to thread away through the field, and he only just missed in the end. He's a provincial midway winner, so he's a very high-class horse. He just needs everything to go his own way, and needs a good ride. But look, if he gets that, he'll probably be the one finishing off. Then you've got Tommy Berry again, as I mentioned before, he rode the Big Dance winner. He's on the Queenslander Freedom Rally for Tony Gollan in this race. He was 3rd in the Prelude. You know, he could easily improve himself a couple of positions today.
What about North England in the gift?
Yeah, well, look, he's a Breeders' Plate place getter. Obviously, that's a good race to come through when you're looking at only having its first start that day. But we've also got the Jim Crack Stakes place getter as well, Ole, who ran a terrific race on debut behind a pretty handy-looking filly. So, look, those 2 horses seem to be the ones with the exposed form, but there are a couple of first starters that are little whispers around town that they might go pretty well. And as Ray said, the significance of this race is not just because it's worth $1 million, but first and second home will almost certainly get a berth in the Golden Slipper. And I know I've only just finished talking about the Everest, but a lot of us are going to start talking about the Golden Slipper now, because that's the race you win if you want to be a $50-odd million horse. And look, there's horses there today that could make it all the way through to the Slipper, North England being one of them.
And just quickly, Hot Danish, your thoughts in the field?
Yeah, look, we've got 5 out of the 10 horses that ran in the Invitation are in the Hot Danish, so it's another sort of replay of what we might have seen there. Magic Time's got new colours. She was bought by Yulong for a fortune in the last couple of days. She'll be very hard to beat. But Belclair, the horse you like, Julie, she's very fast. She ran 1:20 when she won the Invitation, which is very close to a course record. So I'm suspecting that she might go to the lead and carve out some pretty strong sectionals, and she'll be the one that they'll all have to get past.
Okay. All right, Shane, well, thank you. It's been another great series. We will lock you in for the autumn as well. And as you mentioned, the Golden Slipper, we've got the championship, so much exciting stuff to look forward to. But Well done, congratulations, and we will chat real soon. Congratulations on being a place getter in the tipping comp. That's what I mean.
Oh, we've already muted him. There you go. Shane, on.
And of course, we've got all this good stuff to come. I know we're a bit done for time, but we've got the Hunter, the Gong happening.
Well, first up is the Hunter next week, and all tickets have been sold out. Can you believe it?
That's great.
GA only. And then we've obviously got the Gong at Kembla the week after. But it's been a fabulous idea from Racing New South Wales. You get your 12 weeks, and then you get the tracks can have a rest. Randwick and Rosehill, you go to Kembla and Newcastle. And I've seen pictures of it all. It's just people go crazy. Food trucks, everything. So
beautiful.
It's great for the region.
Well, we'll see you for the autumn, all right?
I can just see a little bit of bit of dust there. Okay.
Thank you also to our sponsors, Racing New South Wales and Arrowfield. Thank you, Timmy.
Thank you, and until next time, we'll see you in the autumn. Have a wonderful Saturday.